At the Kansas Speedway, Gragson and Ross Chastain got into a furious pit road fight that left fans startled. In an exclusive interview, Gragson discusses the heated exchange and explains why no one has ever tried to approach Chastain before. So fans, buckle up and stay tuned to NASCAR Zone as we look at a recent incident that has sent shockwaves across NASCAR. But before we dive into that, do subscribe to our channel and hit the like button. Let's take a look at the winner of the day before we discuss the heat between Ross Chastain and Gragson. Denny Hamlin seized the lead from Kyle Larson with the first last lap pass in Kansas Speedway history, winning the 2023 Advent 400 in spectacular fashion. It is Hamlin's first victory in his last 33 races and his fourth victory at Kansas, where he most recently grabbed the checkered flag in the 2022 Coca-Cola 600. Larson was in the lead for almost the whole last part of the race, but with 20 laps to go, Hamlin began to catch up to the Hendrick Motorsports driver. Over the next few laps, Hamlin got closer and closer to Larson. With 5 laps to go, they were side by side, but Larson kept his lead. On the last lap of the race, however, Hamlin bumped into the back of Larson to pass him and win the race. Larson, who has already finished in the top 5 6 times this season, stated that his car became really loose toward the end of the race.
I was really loose. I was trying to do what I could to manage it. Just was really loose at that end, and he was a little bit better than me there at the end. But
with his 49th win, Hamlin is tied with Tony Stewart for 15th place in the history of the Cup Series. Since Martin Truex Jr. took the checkered flag at Dover on Monday, this also marks 2 victories in a row for Joe Gibbs Racing, which has now amassed a total of 400 victories in the Cup Series. The wild finish to the Advent 400 was a great summary of the whole race. A Kansas Speedway records 37 lead changes that happened during the race. That is 11 more than the previous record, which was established in 2009 during a race that was won by the previously mentioned Stewart. The fight between Hamlin and Larson wasn't the only exciting thing at the end of the race. Ross Chastain also punched Gragson in the face during an argument on pit road a while ago. Chastain pushed Gragson into the wall, which made him spin out. After the conclusion of the Cup Series race on Sunday at Kansas Speedway, NASCAR drivers Ross Chastain and Gragson got into a brief fight on the pit road. Over the course of the past 2 seasons, Chastain has emerged as the most divisive character in NASCAR as a direct result of the numerous collisions and interactions he has had with other drivers. Gragson made the decision to quit the race after being forced into the wall by Chastain, with approximately 60 laps remaining in the race. Following the completion of the race, Gragson left his vehicle and proceeded to stroll down the pit road in order to confront Chastain. They talked for a while, and then Gragson grabbed Chastain for a few seconds. Chastain then threw a punch that hit Gragson in the face, and NASCAR security quickly separated the 2 drivers. Chastain ended up in 5th place, while Gragson, who is having a tough rookie year, was 5 laps back in 29th place, 5 positions below Chastain. Chastain is once again at the center of a disagreement because of his aggressive driving style and his involvement in a number of different accidents. It seems as though the NASCAR community discusses Chastain each and every week. Gragson pointed out after the race that despite the fact that Chastain often infuriates the other drivers, no one seems to do much to stop him.
Nobody confronts the guy, and I went down there and grabbed him and showed my displeasure. So I'm sick and tired of it. The guy just runs into everyone. I mean, when you got guys like Chase Elliott, other guys telling you to go beat his ass, everyone's just sick and tired of him, but nobody has the balls to go up and get him.
Chastain wouldn't go into detail on why he threw the punch after Gragson grabbed him, but said it wasn't the first time he's approached me like that.
He did the same thing after Talladega at the plane, and nothing happened, but that wasn't the first time he's approached me like that.
Between Hamlin and Chastain, Larson, William Byron, and Bubba Wallace made up the rest of the top 5. The leader, Byron, had a bad start because he was punished for speeding off pit road and hitting the wall, but he did well enough to finish in the top 5 for the 6th time this season. It's Chastain's 6th top 5 of the year, and Bubba Wallace is third. Bubba Wallace won at Kansas last fall. What are your thoughts on Ross Chastain and Noah Gragson's heated post-race exchange? Let us know in the comments section below. Be sure to hit the bell button and subscribe to our channel to get the latest updates. Kyle Larson would have won the race, but Denny Hamlin made the first pass on the last lap in the history of Kansas Speedway. It's Hamlin's first win in 33 tries and his fourth at Kansas. Ty Gibbs caused the 8th caution of the race when he hit Martin Truex Jr. from the side and slid off the track. Late in the second stage, there was a caution, but Joey Logano stayed on the track and won the stage when another caution came out. Kyle Busch had to go to the pits after he spun and hit the inside wall on lap 164 during a restart with a lot of cars on the track. Near the end of stage 2, Christopher Bell lost control of his car and crashed hard into the inside wall of turn 2. He left his car for the day. Josh Berry continued to fill in for the hurt Alex Bowman. On lap 149, he moved up the track and hit Gibbs, which got him into trouble. Hamlin took the lead for 11 laps and won the first stage. Truex came in second, behind Hamlin. He led the stage for 35 laps. Chase Briscoe lost a wheel early in the race, which was just the start of a tough day. At short tracks, where there is often more regular contact between drivers, we are accustomed to witnessing NASCAR clashes, but incidents at 1.5-mile tracks are much less common. Fights like the one between Kyle Busch and Joey Logano, which took place at the Las Vegas Motor Speedway in March 2017, are obviously not something that takes place very frequently these days. Since NASCAR's next-gen car works best on tracks like Kansas and makes for a more physical race, we might see more anger in the coming weeks at places like Darlington Raceway and Charlotte Motor Speedway. The next race in the Cup Series will be on May 14 at 3 p.m. ET at Darlington Raceway. Following the race at Kansas, which featured a record amount of lead changes, a last-lap move for the win, an on-track struggle between Chevrolet and Toyota, and an off-track war between Ross Chastain and Noah Gragson, NASCAR is positively dripping with drama. The victory was Joe Gibbs Racing's 400th overall, and it marked the second consecutive weekend in which the team ended a losing streak. As we move closer to the next event on the schedule, there is no shortage of tales to choose from. The next race is one of the most anticipated races every year, so there is already a lot of excitement and interest surrounding it. This weekend at Darlington Raceway is known as Throwback Weekend, and in recognition of the great drivers who have competed there in the past, there will be paint schemes that are both iconic and truly inspirational. A number of teams have already presented their vehicles and discussed their strategies in advance of the competition, which will take place the following weekend. Even though the Southern 500 is considered to be the most important race at Darlington, the spring race is not to be taken lightly. Since 2004, when Jimmy Johnson won both events at this track, there has not been a driver to win back-to-back races at this venue. Hamlin won for the 4th time in Kansas, and putting him in first place among all active drivers. Kevin Harvick is in second place with 3 victories, followed by Martin Truex Jr. and Eric Jones, who each have 2. Other winners include Joey Logano, Kyle Busch, and Brad Keselowski. The qualifying session is essential, but starting on the first row may not carry as much weight on this track. Only twice out of the 37 races held since 1997 have been won by the driver who started in the pole position. In 2014, it was Kevin Harvick, and in 2015, it was Joey Logano. The previous 3 races at Darlington have been won by drivers representing all 3 different manufacturers, with Jones and Chevrolet coming into this weekend as the most recent winners. So that is for today. Hope you enjoyed it. Tell us in the comments what you think about the video, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel to see more of our videos on NASCAR updates. Look forward to seeing you in the next video.